Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. So in this video we'll be watching Donald Trump roast and destroy some mainstream media reporters slash interviewers. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below, and let's see what this is all about.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
How tough is it to take away property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet. She's shocked that I picked her.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind, and as of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Donald Trump is now the 47th president of the United States, but when it comes to woke reporters, he often sets aside some time to completely destroy their statements. So let's jump right in after you consider subscribing, of course.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from.
You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort.
So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you,
Why should black voters trust you?
after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network.
Interviewing a president without saying hello is just ridiculous, so Trump's outburst of anger is very understandable, but he is far from done with his epic clapback. Just watch.
And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love
I think
if you
it's
can
a
answer
very
the question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another.
I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln.
That's my answer.
Better than President
That's
Johnson,
my
who signed the
answer.
Voting
We go CSI.
Rights
And
Act.
for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
While Trump is quick to throw some of the same energy he got back towards the reporter, it isn't the first time Trump has clashed with an interviewer, like this next interviewer from CNN.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
You
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Unlike Trump's beef with CNN reporters, Trump has also got some heat for his political uncorrectness from the woke, but Trump has his slick way of turning down the woke concerns, like what happened to Rand Paul. Just take a look.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway.
Do we want someone with that kind of character, that kind of careless language to be negotiating with Putin? Do we want someone like that to be negotiating with Iran? I think really there's a sophomoric quality. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the weapons, because I think his response, his visceral response to people on their appearance.
Short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried?
To have someone like that in charge of the new arsenal.
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
But Jake,
I want to give Mr. Trump.
Just like Rand Paul, this next reporter tried to hit Trump with the classic political uncorrectness, but when she got his answer, it instantly had the opposite effect that she was hoping for.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president?
The big problem this country has is being politically correct.
You guys, I just love this man called Donald Trump. Like, who wouldn't love a man like this? Donald Trump is a masterpiece. I just love the way Donald Trump is putting the interviewers in their places. The very first interviewer was super rude. Imagine interviewing a president and not even saying hello. I really want more of this Trump call outs. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And Donald Trump giving it back to this interviewer as in like, is all I need right now. This is what America need, an outspoken president, not the one that will keep mute. And let me know what you guys think. Actually, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let's continue watching, you guys.
Trump always seemed to have a quick joke up his sleeve, but there are also times where a presidential debate can backfire on the opponent when they are met with Trump's quick thinking. Just watch him destroy the narrator's statement.
Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes?
Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors. I know many of her donors. Her donors took massive tax write-off.
So have you not paid personal federal income tax?
A lot of my write-off was depreciation and other things that Hillary, as a senator, allowed. And she'll always allow it because the people that give her all this money, they want it. That's why. See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president. Hillary Clinton, and it's extremely complex, Hillary Clinton has friends that want all of these provisions, including they want the carried interest provision, which is very important to Wall Street people, but they really want the carried interest provision, which I believe Hillary's leaving. I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros, and so did many of the other people that Hillary is getting money from. Got 'em.
If she had a problem, for 30 years she's been doing this, Anderson. I say it all the time. She talks about healthcare. Why didn't she do something about it? She talks about taxes. Why didn't she do something about it?
She doesn't do anything about anything other than talk. With her, it's all talk and no action.
In the past,
and again, she has made bad judgment not only on taxes, she's made bad judgments on Libya, on Syria, on Iraq. Great job.
I want you to be able to respond, Secretary Clinton.
Well. Trump and Hillary's beef is hilarious. Even at events like the Al Smith dinner doesn't stop Trump from leaving the room in shock over his Hillary statements.
One of the things I noticed tonight, and I've known Hillary for a long time, is this is the first time ever, that Hillary is sitting down and speaking to major corporate leaders and not getting paid for it. You know, last night I called Hillary a nasty woman, but this stuff is all relative. After listening to Hillary rattle on and on, I don't think so badly of Rosie O'Donnell anymore. In fact, I'm actually starting to like Rosie a lot. And I got the chance to meet the people who are working so hard to get her elected. There they are. The heads of NBC, CNN, CBS, ABC. There's the New York Times right over there, and the Washington Post. They're working overtime.
It's no secret that Trump and the media can get heated as he states that they are working against him. But let's check out this clip where Trump ends up completely obliterating this next news reporter.
One of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms. That
here we go.
That, well, if you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a
group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants? In this election to try to keep...
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process.
Well, your campaign...
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
Well, that's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. These were people. This was an actual, it happened a few days ago, and
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN,
all right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President. If I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned you may have...
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead.
Trump doesn't let the disrespectful reporters squeeze in his questions, but the interviewer seems to still be missing some education that Trump is about to deliver.
Go ahead, Peter, go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not a big fan of yours either, so
I understand.
To be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said...
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course of the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir.
Get some help.
Sir, at the end of the campaign, you repeatedly said that Americans
need to fear Democrats. You said Democrats would unleash a wave of crime that endangers families
everywhere. Why are you pitting Americans? Why are you pitting Americans against one another, sir?
Peter, what are you trying to be him?
No, I'm just asking the question.
Let me just tell you, very simple. Because they're very weak on crime.
The question, to be clear, though, the question,
Thank you very much.
Why are you
sit down?
Peter. But you didn't answer my question. Just very simply, the question is:
if it's Mr. President, just wait this moment. If it's unfair to the country and it's costing millions of dollars, why don't you just
give him the mic, please? I've answered the question. Okay. Go ahead, take one. You just have to sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you. I'll give you voter suppression. Take a look at the CNN polls, how inaccurate they were. I'm not responding. I'm responding to... Excuse me, I'm not responding to you. I'm talking to this gentleman. Will you please sit down? Excuse me, would you please sit down? Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now that the House of Representatives
very hostile. It's such a hostile media. It's so sad. You asked me about... No, you rudely interrupted him. Go ahead.
It may be a rude interview that Trump has had, but it's far from the only one. Just take a look at this hilarious interview where Trump and the media meets again for another battle of pointing fingers and interrupting each other.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if everyday Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world, and maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
What, sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay, anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have two questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on the young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish, but can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
The quick assumption that the answer was a provocation is just crazy. But which clip was your favorite? Anyways, like and subscribe, and see you next time.
You guys, that was such an interesting video, and Donald Trump's attack on Hillary Clinton is so true. It was hilarious watching the look on her face, and oh my god, Trump is what America needs right now. Love or hate him, he speaks the truth and doesn't hold anything back. America actually need an outspoken president, and Trump is that man. What he said about CNN is true, because that CNN reporter was so rude, and imagine being so disrespectful. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. The world now knows they report fake news over at CNN. This media battle between Donald Trump and the mainstream media is so hilarious. I really enjoyed every minute of this video. And like I said before, Donald Trump is what the American people need. They need an outspoken president. They need a president who will fight back for them. And that is exactly what Donald Trump is doing. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.